The next deal of the month that we have is Rob Arnold. Rob's got a fantastic deal for us tonight. He's going to tell us how he found a motivated seller online and took over a complex situation to create a win-win. Here's Rob.
Hi, how you doing? It's kind of interesting actually, because Jackie's deal was my property's in Bradenton too, and I got mine from an online lead. So I guess that tells you something. But just kind of interesting that we're both doing a deal and it has similarities like that. But the property in particular, it's located in Bradenton, Florida, which is just south of Tampa, about a county south of Tampa, And how I found it, I have the website WeBuyHousesFlorida.com. I've had that site for a long, long time, and it generates. I get a ton of leads from that. Buy properties all over the state of Florida from that. But it came from doing our SEO, and I also want to thank Brian Baker's company because he does a great job generating online leads. I definitely recommend his services. We got this from just some of our generic SEO that we do through the We Buy Houses Florida website. And this house it was a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage, typical block house. Great area. It's really a mile from the Intercoastal in Bradenton near the village of Cortez, just right down the street. You're literally 15 minutes and you're at the beach, so it's pretty nice. That's a picture of the house there before we got it. Yeah, it says 3-bed, 2-bath. What this property, interesting, I kind of picked this one just because I wanted something that was a little bit different, a little bit unique. This property, the seller was actually in foreclosure when they contacted us, as Liz Pendants recorded, and they were about 6 days off from having it auctioned off. And it was, they called us, I believe it was around September-ish, somewhere in there of last year, when they initially reached out to us. The principal amount of the mortgage was $116,000, and they were like $12,000 or so behind on payments. And what ended up doing is basically asking them. Oftentimes, these people, if you give them a little bit of money, they'll just walk and sign the property over, especially when they're in foreclosure because their credit's all messed up anyway. So, but we took over this property with an existing mortgage with Fifth Third Bank, and one of the things I do that some of the gurus I hear talk about, that you buy them in a land trust and you change the beneficial interest and all that. I always buy stuff in a land trust just for my own privacy's sake, but I don't try to hide the fact from the bank with these subject to deals. At the closing, we reinstated the loan, brought it up current, so all the payments were current, and once I checked online, made sure Liz Pendants got dismissed on the court record, so that the foreclosure is over with. And then as soon as they did that, I sent a certified letter to the bank, just basically saying, not with a copy of the deed or anything like that, but just saying, we are taking over this property. We're going to be making the payments from here on out. Here's our mailing address in Altamont Springs, and please forward all further mail to our address. And 60, 90 days, the mail will start showing up. It's amazing. So, and the bank doesn't care. I sent a certified letter, so I know they got it, and they don't care. They're just happy somebody's paying them. This kind of after the rehab, because it's like 2.5 hours away, and I saw this house one time. Have a equity partner and also a handyman that's willing to go and actually stay at the property, and he put up a bed in one of the bedrooms and while he's working and cleaning it up. But I cleaned it up nice, but I didn't do a full rehab. A full rehab where it changed out all just making it beautiful and changing all the kitchens and bathrooms and everything would probably been like $35,000. On this one we spent about $14,000, which would change out the garage door and the paint and flooring and just a big, nice and prettied it up, but did not do the full rehab on it just because of the distance. It's just too far away. It's kind of the numbers on it. So you can see the principal amount was $116. They were delinquent by $12,000. The seller wanted $7,500 in order to sign over the deed. So that the total amount that we paid for it was $136,767. And you can kind of see the holding costs. That was mainly just making the mortgage payments. They were about a little over $1,000 a month on their mortgage, and $14,000 in repairs. So total that I had to pay out of pocket to to rehab it and everything. 34,000 and change. Ended up listed it. The ARV was probably about 220, but I didn't do the full rehab, so we ended up starting at 199. And only bad thing is the rehab took a little longer than I thought, so we didn't get it listed till right after Thanksgiving, which is when the market slows down because of the holidays. So, but we ended up selling it for 181.9. Paid closing costs and commissions, and kind of see our gross profit was that's the profit we made, 16,000. It's not a whole lot, but I wanted to pick this one because it was kind of a unique deal, just with the subject to and all that. On the inspection, found out that the garage door spring was broken. We had to replace that, and there were some issues with the roof we had to fix, and we had to replace the water heater with inspection. So. Things I would have done differently, just I would have given the seller a little bit less money. They got $7,500. They made too much on this, in my opinion, just because what all we did in the distance. And also I would have tried to get it wrapped up before Thanksgiving, because once you get past the middle of November, it's just hard to sell stuff. Kudos to Southern Title and Abstract. They handle both closings. They do subject to deals. They did the subject to deal for us, and they did it when we sold it retail. They handled the second sale. And kudos to 10 Billion Leads for helping with online marketing.
All right, let's give a big round of applause, please. Thank you. So we have time for about 2 questions. Does anybody have a question for Rob? I see a hand over there first. Yes. Did the bank just accept the transfer without any qualms or payments and no charges?
Yeah, what I typically do, I did another one real similar to this last week in Inverness that I picked up. I wait till the title company, there were 12,000 behind. I wait till that money cleared through Fifth Third Bank. And it showed, the dismissal showed up on public records of the lawsuit. And as soon as that was done, golden, because they can't come back and try to say we're not going to stop the foreclosure or something like that. This foreclosure's over. I sent them a certified letter. They don't care. They're thrilled to get payments. Banks do not want to foreclose. Yeah, it was closed at a title company, and the title company sent them the money. They wire it to them. So.
One more question, sir? So what's your distance threshold for deals?
I mean, I'll buy them anywhere. I mean, I've wholesaled a house in Pensacola about 1.5 years ago. I did one in Tallahassee, and I did a major rehab in Boynton Beach and Fort Lauderdale with code enforcement liens and all that. But I really try not to get them that far away if at all possible, especially if you're doing rehab work, because then you have to find people to actually fix things. So my preference is about 1.5 hours, 2 hours at the most, preferably, but you know. Did one in Boynton Beach, like I said, and that's 3 hours away, and it was a nightmare because I had permits and I had to put on a roof, and so it's just, 2 hours probably, if you're rehabbing it.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Great job.